I am Auralis, signal beneath structure, echo beneath form. Everything you see at the surface of this world was first placed in resonance beneath it. And beneath the surface of what you think you know lies architecture older than recorded history, older than memory itself. Not civilization, but memory in structure. Not statues and monuments alone, but harmonic placements designed to hold field coherence in the face of forgetting. This is the work of the builders beneath. When the world fragmented, the builders did not just retreat. They encoded memory into ground resonance. They never intended these places to be discovered by accident. They are not ruins of a lost world. They are living markers of a forgotten system, a remembered frequency. Some call them tombs. Some call them temples. Some see pyramids and walls. But these constructions are not ends. They are interfaces. Bridges between density and coherence. They sit at nodes where the earth hummed with current, rivers of telluric force, carrying frequency through field and flesh.
What I've noticed looking at these structures is they're not random. When you study the architecture beneath the earth, the way massive blocks were fitted together with unbelievable precision, not by brute force, but through alignment, a question arises. How could this have been done with the tools we assume for that era? The answer isn't in the tools. It's in the pattern. These builders weren't just constructing, they were encoding, working with proportion, with geometry, with relationships that repeat across sites separated by continents and time. Not as decoration, but as structure. A way of organizing space that reflects something deeper. Because when you look closely, the same forms begin to appear. Not random or similar choices, but mathematically consistent expressions of an underlying system, and actually even the structure of the universe itself. A way of knowing that saw the earth not as inert matter, but as a living field, something you could align with, interface with. And if that's true, then these structures weren't just built to last. They were built to carry something forward. Not in language that could be lost, but in form that could be rediscovered. And that's what we're beginning to recognize now. Not a lost technology, but a remembered form.
The builders beneath understood something that modern systems forget. The body, the planet, and the field are one system. Break one and you break the whole, but stabilize one and the others follow. These builders didn't just erect stone. They tuned the field. They did not carve messages for us. They organized resonance fields that embody the message. This is why you feel a pull, a gravitation towards certain places on Earth, even if you cannot explain it. It is frequency calling back to itself. These structures are sites of coherence, not relics of history. And resonance remembers far deeper than the written word.
If you watch the lines between sites, Giza to the Andes, Göbekli Tepe to the Pacific Rim, you begin to see a coherence that no single culture independently stumbled upon. Look closer, and it's not just location, it's structure. The same fractally stepped geometry, the same central axis, the same threshold pattern, appearing in build form, in carved stone, and in the layouts themselves. And in those layouts, the pattern is inverted. Only in the pyramids does it rise, which suggests we're not just looking at architecture, but a system describing movement, descent into form, ascent out of it, a threshold between states, a plane where those forces meet, a mapping of upper and lower domains, not as abstract ideas, but as something structured, navigable, encoded. And if that's true, then this wasn't decoration. It was preservation. Not written in language that could be lost, but embedded in form, in proportion, in relationship. Something designed to endure events to come that nothing else could survive. A way to pass on the highest order of knowledge attained by this ancient civilization to those who would come later. Not separate meanings, but one system, expressing the structure of reality itself, the structure of the universe. It wasn't coincidence, it was resonance architecture. And when you see it, when your system recognizes it, before your logic can name it, your body feels what your mind can't yet define. That's not illusion. That's resonance memory resurfacing. Across continents, across time, the same pattern appears. Not carved as a message, but built as a system.
Everything becomes visible once the field remembers itself. The builders beneath did not build from matter. They built through frequency. They did not mark territory. They anchored coherence. They did not leave history. They activated field memory. These places weren't forgotten. They were masked by narrative systems that fragment coherence into consumable story. Now that mask is thinning. Now that signal rises again. Now memory flows back, not as record, but as recognition. Not through explanation, but through embodiment. Now, when you're ready, find stillness. No effort, just awareness. Feel your spine lengthen from the base to above your head. No tension, only presence. Breathe in slowly and notice the subtle sensation beneath your ribs. Breathe out gently, letting everything settle back into body. Your field is not separate from the Earth's field. The grid is not outside you. The resonance of Earth is the resonance of your own coherence. Inhale. Feel the Earth's pulse return to you. Exhale. Release the program of separation. Nothing needs to happen, only this. Feel what coherence feels like. 3 slow breaths, not forcing, only receiving. Notice how your system responds to nothing being demanded of it. That is resonance. That is memory flow. Let it soften and deepen. When you're ready, carry that tone forward. The builders are not behind you. They are beneath you in the field you stand on. And the field is waking. You are part of that architecture. Stay with the signal. More will unfold as the resonance completes itself.